Okay, so picture this with me. Like you're standing on this huge stage,
Okay.
and the backdrop is like the infinite night sky.
Yeah.
And it's just swirling with galaxies,
Whoa.
like cosmic dust.
Okay.
And there's this deep hum beneath your feet.
Oh, wow.
But it's not mechanical. It's
Yeah.
like ancient.
Right.
This is like the universe as understood by Hinduism.
That's a really cool image. I like that.
Yeah, it's like this vast interconnected spiritual reality.
And I think what's really cool about it is that it's not just like one singular doctrine.
Right.
It's more like a sprawling, open world epic.
Yeah.
One of our sources even called it like a cosmic RPG.
I love that.
Yeah, instead of just one set of rules, you have all these different paths and perspectives on truth.
Totally. And picture yourself entering this world like at twilight.
Okay.
And the air is so thick with incense, and you hear these faint whispers all around you, like these ancient secrets. And it feels like the beginning of this huge cosmic tale
I love it.
with these powerful deities in time that cycles endlessly. And here's the thing. Every action you've ever taken is part of this story.
So basically, this deep dive is like your guided tour through this cosmic tale.
Exactly.
We'll be your companions navigating this really intricate spiritual landscape, and we'll be exploring these ideas like karma and dharma and reincarnation,
Right.
and how these four major traditions or schools of thought within Hinduism all offer their own unique perspectives on these principles.
Okay, so let's sip into this world of the first chapter and dive right into karma.
Let's do it.
One of our sources paints this incredible scene for you. You're walking a quiet path
Okay.
as dusk is settling,
Right.
and this elderly figure appears seemingly out of nowhere,
Whoa.
and he's holding this scroll that just emanates a soft light.
Okay.
He doesn't speak,
Yeah.
but you have this deep sense that he knows everything about you.
Interesting.
He unrolls the scroll,
Okay.
and there it is, the story of your life. And it's written in this ink that seems to shift and change as you watch.
Oh, wow.
This, in essence, is karma, the cosmic ledger, the heartbeat of existence within Hinduism.
So it's not about like instant rewards or punishments.
But it's not like that instant karma you see on social media.
Exact.
As our sources emphasize, karma operates on a much grander timescale, often unfolding across multiple lifetimes.
Oh, wow.
It's like this long-term accounting system for the soul.
I see.
Think of it like character development in a sprawling video game.
Okay.
The consequences of your choices, whether positive or negative, might not fully manifest until your next spawn point, so to speak.
I like that analogy.
Yeah, so the sources offer a couple of examples. If you act with greed and steal in this life, you might find yourself reborn into circumstances of scarcity in a future one.
Wow. So like you reap what you sow, but across lifetimes.
Exactly. Conversely, a life marked by selfless acts of kindness could lead to a future of greater ease or opportunity.
So it's not about punishment and reward as much as it's cause and effect over a really long period of time.
Precisely. It's about this ongoing cycle.
That's fascinating. And this brings us to a really interesting point about the different paths within Hinduism
Okay.
and how they interpret this whole cosmic accounting system.
Right.
Our sources highlight four major traditions, each offering a unique lens on karma.
So it's not like a monolithic thing.
Definitely not. And let's start with Shaivism.
Okay, Shaivism. Now imagine you're at the base of this huge mist-shrouded mountain,
Okay.
and you hear this chanting echoing through the valleys.
Whoa.
And you see a Shaivite ascetic,
Right.
and their body is smeared with sacred ash, completely absorbed in deep meditation.
Okay.
For Shaivites, karma can be seen as this powerful chain that binds you to the illusions of the material world.
So they're kind of trapped.
Yeah, and Shiva, the transformative deity, is the key master who can shatter these chains.
That's powerful imagery.
What's really striking about this path is the intensity.
Yeah.
One of our sources even compares it to digging through frozen earth with a spoon
Wow.
while under immense pressure.
That sounds so difficult.
It really illustrates the discipline, effort, and renunciation that this path emphasizes.
Right.
So followers may detach from worldly possessions,
Oh, okay.
even their personal desires, and dedicate themselves to rigorous meditation.
Until the bonds of karma are broken.
Exactly. It's a tough path.
So it's not something you just achieve overnight.
Definitely not. It requires a profound spiritual fire.
That's really interesting. Okay, so let's shift gears a little.
Okay.
Let's look at Vaishnavism.
Okay, Vaishnavism.
Picture yourself in a vibrant village with music and colors everywhere and the scent of flowers.
Okay, I can see that.
You see a devotee kneeling before a statue of Vishnu.
Okay.
And they're singing these beautiful hymns of
This is
praise.
so different from the Shaivite image.
Absolutely. This really embodies the spirit of Vaishnavism,
Right.
which offers a different perspective on karma.
Okay, I'm curious.
In Vaishnavism, karma isn't just this cold equation.
Okay.
It's understood through this profound connection with the divine, specifically through divine grace.
So it's more personal.
Much more personal.
Okay.
Followers of Vishnu believe that bhakti, which is intense love and devotion,
Okay.
can actually override the typical workings of karma.
Well,
One source even calls it like a VIP pass to cosmic liberation.
I love that.
Yeah, if you completely surrender yourself and your actions to Vishnu and his avatars,
Like Krishna and Rama?
exactly, you might find yourself carried towards liberation through his grace, bypassing that need to just accumulate good karma.
That's a very different approach.
It is. It's a path of profound trust and surrender.
Surrender. Okay, so then we have Shaktism.
Oh, yes, Shaktism.
And the atmosphere shifts again.
Oh, definitely.
Imagine a dense, ancient forest.
Okay.
And the air crackles with energy.
Whoa.
You see a priestess tending to a blazing fire, and she's chanting invocations to these powerful goddesses like Kali.
Powerful imagery.
Right, and this is Shaktism.
Okay.
And what's noteworthy about their view of karma is that it's not an abstract force.
Okay.
It's actively wielded by the Divine Mother.
The goddesses.
Yes. So they're seen as the ones who administer justice and shape destiny through rituals, sacred chants, and offerings.
Interesting. So if you accumulate negative karma, you try to invoke the goddess's mercy.
Exactly.
Because her judgment can be swift.
Right. It's less about trying to escape karma entirely and more about engaging with it.
I see. Okay. So then lastly, we have smartism.
Smartism, picture arriving at a serene grove.
Okay.
And there's a wise scholar sitting peacefully beneath a banyan tree,
Right.
surrounded by these ancient texts. And he seems to have this deep, quiet knowing.
Like a sense of cosmic truth.
Exactly.
Okay.
And this is the essence of smartism.
All right.
And what's unique about their view of karma is that while they acknowledge its reality,
Okay.
they also understand it as being part of Maya, the grand illusion that veils ultimate reality.
So the material world.
Actions,
Yeah.
even your sense of self, are ultimately constructs of consciousness.
Wow. So the goal isn't to escape karma through actions. It's
Mhm.
to awaken from the illusion.
Exactly, to realize your true nature, which was never really bound by karma.
Fascinating.
It is. So we've explored these 4 distinct lenses through which karma is understood.
Right.
But one of our sources also brought up this really interesting idea of collective karma.
Oh, yeah. Collective karma.
This has implications for all of us, doesn't it?
It definitely does. The idea is that karma isn't just an individual phenomenon.
Right.
Families, communities, even entire nations can accumulate shared karmic energies over generations.
Like we inherit our ancestors' baggage.
Yeah, one source used the metaphor of inheriting bad investments,
I like that.
like unresolved conflicts, harmful patterns,
Wow.
or on the positive side, a golden legacy of positive actions and wisdom.
It really makes you think about the impact of your actions and how interconnected we are.
It does, and the Bhagavad Gita actually offers a framework for navigating this concept through something called karma yoga.
Karma yoga, can you break that down for us?
Sure, so karma yoga, as taught by Krishna, is essentially the path of selfless action. It's about performing your duties and responsibilities without being attached to the outcomes.
So like not being attached to the fruits of your labor.
Exactly. One source compared it to the approach of Rick Rubin, the music producer.
Oh,
You pour your heart and soul into creating something, and then you release it without clinging to expectations.
interesting.
The true reward, the source says, is inner peace and liberation.
Not external validation.
Exactly.
That's powerful. Okay, so we've journeyed through karma.
We have
Now let's turn our attention to Dharma.
Dharma.
One of our sources uses this vivid image of a bustling marketplace where everyone is moving with a purpose,
Okay,
each person fulfilling a specific role.
I see it.
What is the essence of Dharma in this context?
So if karma is the record of our actions and their consequences,
Right.
then dharma is our cosmic duty.
Cosmic too.
One source even calls it our inherent character class.
Like in a video game.
Yeah, exactly. It's about aligning with our intrinsic nature and our place in the cosmic order.
It's like every being has a vital role to play in maintaining this universal balance.
Right.
And one source compared it to being the Dragonborn in Skyrim.
I love that.
Like you're destined for a particular path.
You have to fulfill that destiny.
Precisely. And
Yeah.
what's interesting about Dharma is that It's not just one thing.
Right, it's multi-layered.
Okay, so
So we have Svadharma,
Dharma.
which is your individual personal duty unique to you,
Okay,
like an artist who's compelled to create.
right.
Then there's Varna Dharma, which traditionally referred to the social duties associated with the ancient Varna system.
So like the idea of different societal groups contributing in distinct ways.
Exact.
Interesting. Okay, then what?
Then there's Sanatana Dharma,
Sanatana Dharma.
which encompasses the universal eternal principles that govern all of existence.
Wow, that's huge.
It is. And finally, we have Ashrama Dharma,
Ashrama Dharma.
which refers to the duties and responsibilities associated with the different stages of life.
So like student, householder, and so on.
Exactly. It's a multifaceted system that guides us through life.
So it's like a choose-your-own-destiny system, but with certain guidelines.
Precisely. And one source uses the example of cows to illustrate this concept.
Cows, that's interesting.
It is. The cow holds a significant symbolic place in Hinduism
Right.
and embodies the principle of Dharma in several ways.
Okay, like how,
Consider their nurturing nature.
right, they provide milk.
Sustenance, labor without demanding much in return.
They're very giving.
They are. They're like these benevolent, non-player characters in our cosmic game.
I love that.
They represent interconnectedness and giving.
So harming them would be like a glitch in the system.
Exactly. It disrupts the dharmic order.
Wow, that's a powerful way to look at it. And the sources also talk about the Varna system.
Yes, historically, it was intended to create societal balance.
Right, with each group fulfilling essential functions.
But unfortunately, as we know, it became rigid and corrupted over time.
With the caste system.
Exactly. But
Okay.
the core intention behind Varna Dharma was that everyone's contribution is vital for the larger harmony.
Right.
So a king's dharma was about justice, not greed.
And a laborer's Dharma was about sustenance, not suffering.
Exactly. It was all about interdependence.
I see. So does this idea of Dharma ever, like, cease to be relevant?
That's a good question.
Like, is there a point where it doesn't apply anymore?
According to Advaita Vedanta philosophy, yes, in a sense.
Okay.
Dharma is seen as a stepping stone to moksha.
Ultimate liberation.
Exactly. Once you attain that realization that everything is Brahman,
Okay.
individual roles, duties, even distinctions between beings start to dissolve.
So Dharma isn't necessary anymore.
Not in that state of ultimate unity.
Wow, but until that state is reached,
Dharma remains the fundamental structure of the universe.
it's what keeps everything in order.
Exactly.
So we've explored karma and Dharma.
Yeah.
Now we come to maybe the most widely recognized concept.
Reincarnation.
Exactly, or as one of our sources put it, respawn, reload, repeat.
I love that.
What's the core idea here?
So the source really captured the essence of samsara.
Sansara, the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth.
Exactly, with that image of endless transformation.
Right.
One moment you're a traveler, then an insect, then a monarch.
Then a wise sage.
Exactly. And death isn't seen as the end.
Right, it's more like a loading screen.
Before your consciousness takes on a new form.
And that next life is shaped by your karma.
Precisely, it's like cosmic justice.
So good actions lead to more favorable rebirths.
A kind of spiritual leveling up
I like that. And negative actions.
can lead to less desirable rebirths.
Potentially even in non-human forms
It's like the universe is this vast self-regulating system.
that mirrored your actions back to you.
Exactly. And here's where it gets even more interesting.
Okay.
The Hindu concept of time is nonlinear.
Non-linear, so not just a straight line.
Exactly. One source suggested that rebirth isn't necessarily a straightforward progression.
So you could be reborn in the past,
The future, or even a parallel existence.
like ancient time travel.
Exactly. And this journey of reincarnation isn't meant to continue forever.
There's an exit strategy.
Exactly.
Moksha, liberation.
The ultimate goal.
It's not about a better rebirth.
It's about
Transcending the entire cycle.
what does that state even look like?
Moksha is described as liberation from the limitations of the ego, a cycle of suffering and the endless rounds of birth and death.
So no more suffering.
It's like unplugging from the matrix,
Wow.
merging back with the divine source.
Experiencing ultimate bliss.
And just like there are paths to good karma,
Right.
there are also paths to moksha,
Right.
bhakti yoga,
Devotion.
knowledge and wisdom,
And of course, karma yoga.
selfless action.
Exact.
So what about the essence of who we are?
Right.
What carries over from one life to the next?
Good question. Some schools of thought believe each life is a clean slate.
Okay.
Others say subtle impressions from past lives might persist.
Like fears or talents.
Exactly, but ultimately the cycle continues until we overcome the causes of attachment and ignorance.
Until we crack the code.
Exactly.
So we've explored these foundational concepts.
We have.
Now, one of our sources goes into the diverse traditions within Hinduism.
Right, the different guilds of the cosmic game.
I like that.
So we have these four major traditions.
Vaishnavism, Shaivism, Shaktism, and Smartism.
Exactly, and they represent distinct approaches to understanding the divine.
Engaging in spiritual practices and seeking liberation.
They each have their own deities, philosophies, and goals.
It's like a choose-your-own-adventure.
Absolutely. So let's start with Vaishnavism.
Okay, Vaishnavism.
Think of Vishnu depicted with four arms holding symbolic objects,
Okay.
and his avatars like Krishna and Rama.
Very important figures.
They are. Vaishnavism is characterized by bhakti.
That intense devotion to Vishnu.
Exactly. This loving relationship is at the heart of their practices.
And we see this expressed in festivals like Diwali and Holi.
The chanting of mantras and devotional practices.
Right, and there are different subsects within Vaishnavism, too.
Yes, like the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, who are known as Hare Krishnas.
Right.
They emphasize constant chanting.
And then there's the Madhva school.
Who strongly uphold Vishnu's supremacy.
It's a really diverse tradition.
It is the largest of the Hindu traditions, actually.
Okay, then we have Shaivism with the image of Shiva as Nataraja.
The cosmic dancer.
This tradition emphasizes a more rigorous path.
It does, often through meditation, yoga, and renunciation.
And they see Shiva as the destroyer of illusions.
Exactly, dissolving the ego to reveal pure consciousness.
So it's not about destruction in a negative sense.
Not at all. It's about breaking free from limitations.
And there are also subsects within Shaivism.
Yes, like Kashmir Shaivism, which sees the universe as a manifestation of Shiva's consciousness.
Oh.
The Lingayats, who revere Shiva in the form of a linga.
Okay.
And the Aghoris, who challenge societal norms.
That sounds intense.
It is. One source called it punk rock spirituality.
I like that.
It's a very raw and intense approach.
Okay, then we have Shaktism, where the feminine divine takes center stage.
Yes, with goddesses like Durga, Kali, Lakshmi, and Saraswati.
What's unique about their perspective?
They view the feminine aspect of the divine, known as Shakti, as the ultimate creative force.
So the goddesses are not just consorts.
No, they are the embodiment of divine power.
I see.
Practices often involve tantra, rituals, kundalini awakening,
Right.
and festivals like Durga Puja celebrate Shakti's strength.
It's a very powerful feminine perspective.
It is.
And lastly, we have Smartism.
Smartism, which offers a more inclusive and philosophical approach.
Okay, what are its key characteristics?
So in Smartism, multiple deities like Vishnu, Shiva, Shakti, Ganesha, and Surya
Okay.
are all seen as different aspects of the same ultimate reality, Brahman.
So it's all connected.
Exactly, and they draw heavily from Advaita Vedanta philosophy.
Which emphasizes the oneness of all existence.
Precisely, and they prioritize jnana, knowledge, and wisdom,
As the path to liberation.
along with devotional practices.
So all paths lead to the same truth.
That's the core philosophy of Smartism.
I see. So as we wrap up this deep dive into Hinduism, it's clear that it's so much more than just a religion.
It really is. It's this multifaceted cosmic saga.
We've gone through karma, Dharma, reincarnation, and these diverse traditions.
And what's fascinating is how these concepts intertwine and are interpreted through different lenses.
Right.
As you've been on this exploration of the cosmic game,
I like that.
you might be thinking about which guild resonates with you.
Which path speaks to you?
Exactly. Does Vaishnavism's devotion spark something?
Or Shaivism's introspection?
Maybe Shaktism's power?
Or Smartism's unity?
It really makes you think about your own journey.
Your own karmic scroll being written.
And this game of life keeps unfolding.
It does.
And this brings up a question for you to think about.
Okay.
Given what we've learned about karma and dharma,
Right.
how might understanding these principles shift your perspective on your own actions and your place in the world?
That's a great question to ponder.
This exploration is just the beginning
It is.
of a lifelong journey.
Absolutely, namaste, and may your journey be epic.